never fails. Start a cast and have to clear your throat. Hello, everyone, and now welcome. Welcome to a game. This is going to be a 2v2 matchup between Typhoon and TekRicket, going up against MartialSpirit and a Linger. A 2v2 matchup here on Knollwoods, and it is going to be close spawns. Close spawns meaning that there is not an empty base between the two of them, as we'll see what unravels here. Opening things up, it looks as though the yellow human player is going to be going for a very lumber intensive build. Is it going to be Paladin Rifleman? That is the question, as the Altar of Kings just now getting place bound. There's that blacksmith, and well, here is that barracks. It looks like it is going to be exactly that particular build. Difficult to keep track of the lumber though, as every single building and every single peasant is currently doing something. Coming back over, looking at the Night Elf, Yellow Night Elf opening up with Ancient of War, Altar of Elders. Looks like it's going to be, well, some sort of archer play, which makes a lot of sense. For those of you guys who are new to 2v2s, well, because of the way the game plays out, you often need to go for a lot more range units since there is, well, a lot more congestion on the map, a lot of limited space, and well, if your army is not able to engage because, well, melee units need to be next to their targets in order to get their damage across, if they're not able to engage, it doesn't matter if you have the supply advantage if your units aren't in position to actually be used. We're looking at a true mirror match, though. It is Night Elf Human going up against Night Elf Human. Keeper of the Grove going up against Priestess of the Moon and True Shot Aura. As I'm looking to see, yep, it is going to be a Hunter's Hall and Ancient of War. So Huntresses are going to be that front line. Huntresses with Riflemen behind here. We're looking at an Altar of Kings coming completed right now. Typhoon going to be opening up, seeing that 21/24 supply. What does that really mean? 8 there. That means that there is 13 units currently working, resources gathering here. As well, more and more riflemen will get added across. Keeper of the Grove maybe already creeping out here with a lone archer. Meanwhile, Priestess of the Moon, no true shot aura, so it looks like it is going to be searing arrows first, as a rifleman may try and come off or come over to engage. All right, a little bit of damage right there. You can see that peasant taking a little bit of damage. Is it going to get a holy light here in just a moment? There it is, a holy light on that peasant, keeping him alive and well, as this Priestess of the Moon looks to back off. Trading, what, 200 hit points for 75 mana? Thank you for the follow, Serial Loafer, as we're looking at, well, the Priestess of the Moon looking to make its way back across again. All right, Militia making their way over, trying to do a little bit of creeping as well. And, well, the Priestess of the Moon, how much damage can it really do? That is the question here. Priestess of the Moon going to try and steal a shot, perhaps, get that last shot off onto that Gnoll Brute. Riflemen are off over here, getting some damage there as well, as both sides are fighting. Who's going to get that last shot there? Paladin gets the experience, as the Priestess of the Moon now down to 167 hit points. Gnoll poachers will get finished off. Militia should perhaps be returning back to work, as the Keeper of the Grove already at level 2, and I am surprised that no one opted to try and clear out this mercenary camp here. Perhaps the amount of lumber a human player needs if they're going for that early rifleman is a big deterrent, as that arcane tower, well, is not within range to fight off this one Priestess of the Moon. Meanwhile, Paladin down to the south here, playing a game by himself, only going after the computer-controlled units, should have no problem clearing up that creep camp. Priestess of the Moon coming back in from the other side here, down to 207 hit points. Keeper of the Grove could try and get off an entangle. No entangle there. There's an entangle onto a Huntress. And one Huntress, well, should know better than to try and take down or try to do a little bit of harassment with a Keeper of the Grove and this many piercing damage units. Devotion aura on that Paladin going to make it very difficult to finish off, as we could be going into, well, perhaps an expansion attempt here. More peasants will be needed, and perhaps a couple of great halls as well, as you can imagine the number of huntresses that will be rushing on in to put in some pressure. All right, there is scout towers already getting constructed. Are they going to become guard towers, arcane towers? Meanwhile, back across here, one peasant going to try and retreat back, already down to 59 hit points. Calls to arms, really shouldn't be trying to engage there, as we're looking at a lone rifleman trying to finish off some of these units off to the side. We are looking at an expansion attempt coming in from Typhoon. That's well on its way. Meanwhile, Keeper of the Grove hoping to finish off this Fountain of Health creep camp. More archers are joining in on the fight here. And is there enough damage between all of these units to really finish off this Red Drake who has the benefit of that Fountain of Health? Back off to the, well, west side, or excuse me, east side here. Typhoon still playing a solo game, clearing out creeps as that Paladin now gets up to level 3. All right, more damage coming back across here. It looks as though the Huntress down to 281 hit points. Guard towers not yet done. Oh, they are now done, and that's going to be some quick damage there once more as the Huntress says, you know what, I cannot stick around in this fight whatsoever. Now, Paladin of Typhoon quickly realizes, wait a second, how much of the map has been creeped out. Keeper of the Grove picking up a robe of Magi, as this expansion may be under a bit of pressure. Typhoon did not set up those guard towers earlier, maybe because of the positioning. He thought he had a little bit more time, but that doesn't seem to be the case. It is currently 2 1v1 matchups. Both Night Elves are trying to put pressure on the human expansions, as the, well, human player off over here, the yellow human player, able to hold and defend this fairly easily. The guard towers are already up and operational, and I don't believe I see a tech to tier 2. Nope, not as of yet. Priestess of the Moon now clearing out a rather, well, an easy creep camp off to the side here, hoping to get to level 2. Gonna go ahead and finish off the remainder of this 3-3-3 creep camp. Meanwhile, Keeper of the Grove and Naga Sea Witch coming back across all in the middle portion of the map. We are going to be looking at the Paladin coming in from behind, and it's now 2v1 at this fight off over here. Paladin does sit at level 3 for the purple side, as we're going to see a quick entangle. Trying to get damage off onto that, or trying to finish off that Paladin, going to be very difficult with entangle. Damage isn't really that high. And at the same time, in the same way, well, let's take a look at this. All of a sudden, Paladin being forced to use a Scroll of Town Portal to back away. Rifleman trying to focus down a couple of these other units. Are we going to see a Holy Light? Yes, there's a Holy Light, as all the units are going to get repositioned. Units trying to retreat back once more. And it is just ranged army versus ranged army. Naga Sea Witch going in for those cold arrows. Those Trents are trying to take down some of those riflemen, but the riflemen backed up by 400 hit point Holy Light. And that, if this turns into a war of attrition, the level 3 Paladin and the purple team will win just because they are able to heal better. Panda, however, comes back across. Breath of Fire animation didn't show up there. Not quite sure why. As we're looking at the rifleman looking to finish off, there goes one Huntress. Paladin still not close to level 3 as of yet, as another Huntress going to end up getting taken down. All right, the Huntresses are just easily getting focused down rather fast here, as the Keeper of the Grove now going to retreat back. Level or Holy Light saving up an Archer, as well as the Panda is trying to get within range and perhaps try to take down some more units. All right, we're looking at cold arrows onto the Brewmaster. Brewmaster down to 110 hit points. A little bit more damage coming back across, as the Paladin unable to heal, low on mana. There's a Holy Light there trying to, well, give position away again. All right, units on all sides of the map here. Naga Sea Witch getting closer to 2. Keeper of the Grove getting closer to 4. Are we going to see some Trents join in on the battle here, as Riflemen are going to be pushing across, as the units are now looking to back up and regroup? Panda, not enough mana for a Breath of Fire, as all those units are clumped together. We're going to see a little bit of a slight engagement, pulling back with those units. Paladin really wants to get up to a higher level, but for that higher level Holy Light, but still has not been able to do so, as the Paladin of Purple winning out that war with that 400 hit point heal so far. All right, Arcane Tower starting to feed back some of that precious mana. Scroll of Protection added in once more, as we may see one Rifleman getting taken down there. All right, adding up damage. Peasants getting taken out. Naga Sea Witch sitting at level 1. Paladin sitting at level 2. And perhaps a retreat is in order to that Fountain of Health, hoping that that will give some sort of advantage again. Scroll of Protection about to come to an end, though, as the Archers and the Naga Sea Witch now looking to pull back. Perhaps even picking up a couple of Scrolls of Healing would be very, very helpful. Fountain of Health. Yellow team using that Fountain of Health, using a bit of free healing. Scroll of Healing also being picked up once more. Both sides sitting on 3 bases. And we're looking at, well, upgrade to Castle. And if it's worth doing, it's worth overdoing, as we're going now into triple racks. All right, triple racks getting iron plating. We are going to be transitioning perhaps into Knights. Knights with Sundering Blades to try and deal with the Mountain Giants, and that is going to be key, as the Riflemen could end up getting popped here in just a moment. All right, Yuna's trying to head back away. Mountain Giant at a Fountain of Health. That is perhaps an impossible task for even what, 5, 6 riflemen to finish off. You're going to see that mountain giant, how quickly those hit points regenerate since it is percentage based. And then with that medium armor, well, how difficult it is to take out. All right, mountain giants already moving off over here. We are going to be going into, well, knights here as soon as it becomes available. Paladin joins in on the, or Paladin joined alongside a blood mage to try and get a little bit more mana, as well as we're looking at orbs of venom coming in from the night elf army. Night Elf army going to be rather dangerous here as the mountain giants now pushing on through. There's Siphon Mana going up against Siphon Mana, both blood mages trying to make sure that their own paladin is all topped off here as we're looking at a bunch of repairs. Right, or riflemen ready to charge and engage. Where are they going to go? Archers are in the back here as the mountain giants, well, 4 mountain giants absorbing so much damage in that frontline spot, but also dealing terrible damage at that town hall. There is a lot of gold to be had in the bank of yellow, so those knights need to join in on the battle and join quickly as Siphon Mana removing, well, yellow's mana so far. All right, more battling coming across here. A blood mage needs to get off a Siphon Mana, perhaps going to try and Siphon Mana one of those, well, try to Siphon Mana that blood mage here. Arcane Vaults galore, so this is definitely a home field battle for yellow, but just no time to shop at all as another Breath of Fire, well, deals damage even though there is no animation. All right, looking at the knights. Knights are being trained. 3 knights being trained at a time. Thank you for the sub, as the Keeper of the Grove gets a nice, good entangle off on that mountain giant off to the side. A little bit more damage onto that town hall. Mountain giants attempting to take down this town hall. Meanwhile, the paladin working overtime to keep all of these units alive. And well, there's a staff of preservation taking that unit all the way back home. More peasants need to repair. You cannot allow your opponent to well, win out with these mountain giants without at least making them pay for it, as the mountain giants finish their work, take down the expansion, and now the units are just trying to retreat back once more. Siphon Mana versus Siphon Mana. Who wins out in this battle? Well, the blood mage, who's currently siphoning mana, obviously, as the archers are just trying to push through again. Knights need to get into position. Where are they going? And here we are. We finally see something to try and counteract these mountain giants here as the Brewmaster falls at level 1. Paladin sitting at level 2. It has a Staff of Sanctuary, gets quickly focused down. Riflemen just lining up the shots and taking them down pretty much in an instant, as well, the Knights don't have Sundering Blades as of yet. Knights are taking a lot of damage here as they're trying to finish off all of these units. There goes a Holy Light onto the Priestess of the Moon, but it already had a Scroll of Town Portal. A little bit of a waste here as the units are still trying to retreat back. Mortar teams also taking a little bit of damage, and, well, if you're retreating, you are losing, and that is what is happening here as the Mortar team, well, the Mortar team may get taken down. One more shot from the Cold Arrow. Yes, Naga Sea Witch finishes the job there. All right, Mountain Giant is down. However, the damage was done. Losing that Town Hall is absolutely a huge, huge loss here, as this one Mountain Giant will able to get back home with the help of Staff of Preservation. The expansion for Typhoon. Typhoon's showing 62 supply compared to 51. Going for triple barracks, but having no gold to really spend on it. That is going to be the issue. Perhaps trying to get Sundering Blades and going down a supply, getting Sundering Blades and Animal War Training would be very helpful here, as the Paladin of Yellow finally sitting at level 3. Mountain Giants are 0-1 upgraded with that Devotion Aura. Very difficult to take out. 8 base armor for 32% damage reduction. And, well, it's 6% more effective hit points per armor. So it's almost like it has 50% more hit points. And then when you factor in healing from a paladin as well, that damage is just so difficult to overcome. All right, let's get some repairs in. Scroll of Town Portal. Town Hall is already repositioned. The Mountain Giants, however, do not have those giant clubs, and the Town Hall is going to end up falling for the second time in 4 minutes. More mortar teams just lobbing attacks again, as this is turning into a base race. Who can hold their expansion longer? And, well, it looks like Typhoon is going to lose his expansion as well. Level 3 on the Priestess of the Moon now means level 2 True Shot Aura, a big damage bonus coupled with bears. All right, Rifleman now with plus 12 damage between Roar and True Shot Aura. That is crazy indeed, as well as those Riflemen. Well, what plus 12? That's almost what is that, 16, so it's almost dealing 50% damage per shot, only about 40 here, as the mortar teams are going to be benefiting from here as well. All right, a new expansion coming in from the Night Elf party. Meanwhile, the main base of yellow in trouble, as the mortar teams are going to be able to lob and cause some problems. All right, animal war training about to be finished here. Meanwhile, the peasants are just working overtime. Knights are in position. There's a flame strike, and the units are going to try and be forced to move back around. Paladin does have a staff of sanctuary, but when his own home is under duress, it doesn't really make that much sense here, as we see a Scroll of Town portal and perhaps a pincer play. All right, here comes the Knights coming in from one side. Here comes the Archers, Naga Sea Witch, Mountain Giant, and it is a great squeeze play against purple. Is it going to actually work out, though, as the Knights are trying to go after all of these Mountain Giants here, and it looks like they're going to be able to do a decent job. Knights going up against Mountain Giants, Mortar teams, Riflemen not being able to attack, Paladin now being forced to use a Scroll of Town portal, as we see a Scroll of Town portal coming in from the Priestess of the Moon as well. All right, so far a great back and forth game between these two players, or these two teams, 50 supply and 61 supply, going up against 66 supply and 63. Typhoon and TekRicket were both forced to Scroll of Town portal, even though they had the supply advantage. Coming back across, we're also looking at yellow being up on bases here, which is absolutely key as well. Granite and rock golems will end up getting taken down. Perhaps we'll see some staff of sanctuaries trying to save some of these units. No, just a straight up holy light, as that thunderclap dealing so much damage here. That knight down to 185 hit points. Is it going to get taken out? Nope. There's that staff of sanctuary, as we see Idol of the Wild summons a Furbolg tracker for 3 minutes to fight alongside you. All right, let's come back across here off to the north. Rock Golem going to end up getting taken down. There's a couple of knights. Knights working together, riflemen trying to perhaps get in a little bit more experience. Level 4 on that paladin would be nice. Level 3 on the blood mage, getting the right levels at the right moment. Paladin strategy and the even and odd levels both seem to bolster the paladin strategy. Getting that second level of devotion aura really helps out keeping and making that paladin's holy light not have to work nearly as hard. We're looking at, well, we're just now getting the long range rifleman upgrade. The riflemen were only fighting with 400 range, so that may have been one of the reasons why it felt like yellow was constantly just being pushed into a corner with really no way to attack or engage. All right, a lot of farms right in the frontier. True Shot Aura, there's plus 13 damage on those riflemen. Flame Strike now coming in. Bear's going to try and engage here, but the guard towers, in comes the Scroll of Town portal. The mortar team's trying to take down the castle. Knight's going to be getting into position here, and all of a sudden, this is just a bad spot. Yellow in that frontline spot. Mortar team's really able to just rain down a lot of damage, and it's these 5 mortar teams in the back going unchallenged. The mortar teams have plus 36 damage right here, and this is with Roar and True Shot Aura just splashing so much damage safely from behind. The Blood Mage unable to get a Flame Strike onto the mortar teams, and that is the problem here, as the mortar teams are able to splash so much damage there, taking down that Blood Mage. Brewmaster falls at level 2, Blood Mage falls at level 3, and without the Blood Mage, all of a sudden the Paladin could run out of mana fairly fast as well. Paladin trying to wander around back and forth. A Blood Mage falls at level 3, and this is just a hero bloodbath across the board. Knights trying to get within range, trying to focus down those other backline units, unable to do exactly that, as the Keeper of the Grove using that Orb of Venom, trying to win out with these damage over time tactics. There goes a Mountain Giant, level 4 now on the Priestess of the Moon, level 2 Searing Arrows, mortar teams just absolutely getting splattered. So much blood just lobbed up into the air, as purple looks like they're going to be winning out on this battle here. Mountain Giants looking to back away. Militia finally being called over, and with this retreat, Priestess of the Moon, this is more of a tactical retreat to regroup as opposed to losing that battle, as they clearly won out on the fight. 31 supply and 48 supply going up against 57 supply and 72 supply. Yeah, Typhoon and TekRicket just playing a great game, playing their own style, and being able to bring the battle to their opponent. All right, Should we be looking at perhaps knights heading over to that fountain of health to regenerate some hit points? Staff of Sanctuary doing, well, a similar thing right there, regenerating hit points per seconds. As we're looking at the Keeper of the Grove sitting at level 4, picking up some additional items too. Paladin staying at 4, Priestess of the Moon staying at 2, only level 1 True Shot or a level 1 Searing Arrow. Naga Sea Witch with Fork Lightning perhaps able to finish things off as the Blood Mage is about to be resurrected here in just a moment. More knights joining back in on the battle so far. We're going to see a slight engagement, mortar teams, and it's that range that I was talking about earlier. If you have when you have units with large range able to just expand that battlefield, all of a sudden mortar teams become very powerful assets because of, well, how they can expand that battlefield, and by making it so large, they're able to have more of their units engage at the same time. Scroll of Town Portal right there, trying to escape. There is, well, I believe there was a taunt. Yes, a taunt used to try and break Shadow Meld. Nicely done. While the Keeper of the Grove himself, well, Keeper of the Grove himself had the benefit of the Scroll of Town Portal for invulnerability. All right, this Tree of Life off over here to the top right-hand side, the last advantage that yellow is holding onto, and that will be lost in just a second. That Tree of Life, not long for this world, especially with Mountain Giants. Oh, no mortar teams, just Mountain Giants with siege damage if they decide to pick up a tree. All right. This is turning into a separate battle here. A lone knight wandering on out, running by a firing squad. Is he going to get taken out? No, he is not. Still 11 armor on that knight. And where is this knight going? The knight is trying to regroup here. A complete transition away from rifleman. It is now paladin. It is paladin knights as opposed to paladin riflemen, as we're going to be going into engagement here. All right, getting that entangle onto that mountain giant mortar team, or sorry, excuse me, paladin going to quickly try and get in a little bit of heals right there, as the mortar teams do need to get finished off. Meanwhile, down to the south, why is there one knight there? Not quite sure. More knights, well, and yellow just not fighting on the same page together, needs to regroup. And there was an opportunity for a 2v1 attack, but they were unable to capitalize on it. Scroll of Town Portal from human, regrouping with that Night Elf army as they push on through again. All right. Oh, well, look at this. That one knight actually running inside the human base and finishing off a lot of the peasants. All right, so there is, in the sea of purple, you actually see quite a number here, and perhaps the knight should actually be going after this one peasant as well. Meanwhile, we're looking at some major attacks here, mortar teams from the distance. What is going on? Where is that paladin army? Where's the paladin and that blood mage? Are they going to even be trying to work together? As we're looking at the Keeper of the Grove and the Naga Sea Witch, well, things not looking good there at all. All right, in come the units. We are looking at, well, the destruction of the castle, and it looks like multiple sides are going to end up becoming revealed. 58 supply here, and this has just turned into a base trade scenario. Trading one base for another, as Night Elf trying to set up another expansion here at what I'll call the 4 o'clock position. All right, there is no more workers, I believe. 58 over 54 supply. This is not a fight that really needs to happen, as the units are just, well, peasants are just trying to retreat all the way back. Perhaps they can regroup, take this expansion location, and by taking that expansion location, really come out ahead. However, Panda and the Bears notice that the peasants are trying to run away. No such luck. Breath of Fire. You can see how far that range really is, as damage is going to add up pretty quickly. A damage over time there, a little bit more damage. Are we going to see another Breath of Fire on this line of units? There you are, as peasant after peasant is falling. Peasants trying to retreat all the way back home. As we're looking at, well, the Paladin here without a Scroll of Town Portal. Blood Mage has it, though. Knights need to stay together, and this may be the last stand. All right, Scroll of Town Portal. Knights coming back over to try and help. We're looking at 34 supply in terms of, what, 2 heroes and 6 knights. That's pretty much all we're going to get. A couple of peasants thrown in there as well. As, what is that? Slippers of Agility? Not really going to matter. All right, Mountain Giant sitting at 2-2. Rifleman sitting at 3-1 upgrades, plus 6 damage. And that is without the roar. Could go up to plus 13 damage. And those riflemen just firing and focus firing a single target can easily take out a knight or two as the Mountain Giants try and taunt the knights from actually getting to their target. Priestess of the Moon sitting at level 4. Panda, Priestess of the Moon just holding off to the side here. And what's really happening is that Purple is trying to make sure that no mistakes are made by not forcing a fight at an unfavorable location. Then perhaps they will be able to come out ahead. Little do they know that Yellow is already setting up another base off over here at the 4 o'clock position to try and get back into this game economically. Mountain Giant is already on the move, making a trek off over there. And the question is going to be, as soon as that Mountain Giant is going to be going into that position and scouting out this location, what are the two armies going to be doing? Are they going to try and engage here? Or are they going to try and separate as Wisp are already on the way trying to move on over? All right, Army holding outside Yellow's. Thank you for the cheers. Critter, your chat overlay is off. You can't see us. Oh, well, that actually makes sense. All right. Back over here, peasants. Well, Wisp gonna go ahead and just try and repair off here. Well, I'm glad someone cheered. All right, as the Mountain Giants now making their way back off over to the right. All right, Mountain Giants going to go ahead and get engaged. Archer's going to go ahead and try and push. There is Mortar Team's going to go ahead and lob as well, as this may be the final attack. Mountain Giants are all clogged up right in the center here. There are a good number of Mountain Giants. I don't believe Purple was expecting the same number of Mountain Giants as we see Knights coming in from behind. All right, a beautiful, beautiful Flame Strike coming in as well, as the Knights are now trying to retreat back. All right, Knights trying to retreat back here. Breath of Fire not really hitting that many targets as the Archers and the Mountain Giants in that front line spot. All right, Bears are in the front line here. Are we going to see some Holy Light? Yes, we are, as we see some of those units trying to retreat back once more. Double Scrolls of Healing, Scroll of Protection. This is turning into a weird situation. The Knights need to be going after either the Mountain Giants or the Riflemen, not going after those Bears. That is not the spot where they really want to be fighting in, as the hit points on the Mountain Giants are starting to fall. Yellow, Priestess of the Moon, getting up to level 3 right here. A lot of damage onto those Mountain Giants still, as the Mortar Teams are still lobbing their attacks through and through. Blood Mage sitting at level 3, Paladin sitting at level 4, Staff of Sanctuary not quite sure where it's going to really save them, as the Blood Mage just trying to create a zoning effect as well. All right, more damage adding in, more Mountain Giants getting teleported back home. Yellow going to end up losing another Mountain Giant here. I can't tell who's losing Mountain Giants faster. All I can tell is that the Mortar Teams and the Riflemen are still alive and playing a really great game, but the Purple loses his Brewmaster. All right, Brewmaster getting taken down there. Siphon mana away, a little bit of an infinite loop going down, as the units are trying to retreat back once more. Are we going to see Purple lose another Bear? No, we are not. Down to 40 hit points. Needs to get a rejuvenation off or something, as we're seeing some damage finally go down. All right, it looks as though that Bear does finally get lost here. This expansion, Tree of Eternity, was moved on over. We might see some detonations across all of those units. Staff of Preservation doesn't really get him out of harm's way, as a Scroll of Town Portal forced to be used to try and save. Knights are getting lost as well. Both sides still fighting their way, as the Priestess of the Moon able to go back into a further position. Knight still with a long chase here again. There goes another Knight, or another Mountain Giant. It's falling as the retreating Purple is just taking so much damage. Knights continuing that push as well, and the poison damage of the Keeper of the Grove really starting to add back up. There goes another unit again and again. We are seeing no mining here whatsoever. 21 supply, and is this going to be a reversal? Was Yellow able to hold off long enough? Continuing here, there's another Holy Light again. Units are trying to retreat back as the Paladin gets up to level 5. Perhaps level 3 Devotion Aura? No, level 3 Devotion Aura it is, as the Priestess of the Moon is stuck in position and banished, trying to get away. Keeper of the Grove backing away right there. Holy Light going to save that Keeper of the Grove once more. Nagasi was trying to pull back, and I believe Yellow has over pushed its welcome now that Purple had access to those Moon Wells. units are going to be retreating back here again. And, well, it may come down to who has access to gold. And right now, purple has access to gold. All right, coming back around, Luxembourg. Um, Priestess of the Moon now making its way back off to the north here. Mortar teams with plus 24 damage from that True Shot aura. Druid of the Claw could get in an additional roar, trying to finish off this Tree of Eternity Knights, taking a lot more damage than they should as they're trying to back away again. Siphon Mana, Keeper of the Grove, well, actually walks away, could have easily just entangled the Blood Mage, stopped the channel, and perhaps even focused down the Blood Mage here as the Blood Mage now gets up to level 5. Peasants walking on over. What are they hoping to do except give experience as the Mountain Giants are in this battle still? All right, Flame Strike going down, trying to create a little bit of separation across all of these units. Again, there's another taunt. Priestess of the Moon could be in trouble, down to 237 hit points as a Banish allows it to retreat back out. I believe that was a friendly Banish, so that, well, there is no real... Oh, there is that Mountain Giant. One more shot, it gets finished off again. All right, damage getting added up back once more. Paladin going after another Druid of the Claw. Druid of the Claw going to get taken out as we are looking at the Paladin sitting at level 5. All right. Coming back across here, Tree of Eternity, Night Elf showing 17 supply. 17 supply for human, 24 supply. Night Elf sitting at 25 supply, human sitting at 26. So purple still has a slight advantage here as Starfall now being used. Starfall being used as a way to try and save the expansion, but little does he know that all of a sudden a quick entangle stops the Priestess of the Moon from that channeling ability. All right, so far that Tree of Eternity down to 333 hit points. It is 5 heroes working together to try and shut down this Tree of Eternity, and the Tree of Eternity looks like it just needs 1 or 2 more shots, finally getting taken out there. 5 heroes working together, now retreating back home. Meanwhile, what are these Wisps doing? They have found a new gold mine, and they're going to be, well, entangling the center gold mine again. Coming back down to the south, 28 supply going up again, and 23 supply going up against 24 supply and 14 supply. Purple still has a slight advantage in terms of supply, but in terms of economy, well, only one team is currently mining gold. 2,300 gold left here, 1,900 gold left there as well. A lot of pressure as the Blood Mage, is it going to actually end up getting a Phoenix? That would be an interesting addition, as well as the Paladin and the Blood Mage here. No real reason to try and attack this base down here, even as a simple act of scouting. It doesn't make a lot of sense. Keeper of the Grove gonna get an entangle off there. There's a little bit of bonus damage onto that Priestess of the Moon, but I believe the entangle bonus from Banish mitigates, well, you'd rather have that damage as opposed to having 3 heroes just constantly attacking you as well. There is double orbs of venom on the Keeper of the Grove and the Priestess of the Moon. Are we gonna see an entangle? Yes, straight up entangle onto the Mortar team there. Mortar team now getting taken out. We're looking at the Tree of Eternity showing 24 supply. Mortar teams know what they need to do to win this game. Thank you for the follow, as the Priestess of the Moon currently entangled and siphoned mana. 1 or 2 more shots should finish it off at down to 31 hit points, down to 2, as the Blood Mage able... Oh, Mortar teams get a deny. Get a deny in on that Priestess. No, right? The Mortar teams denied that, right? Yeah, there's the GG, and yellow comes out ahead. All right, yellow coming out ahead with greater control of the heroes. A crazy 2v2 matchup going back and forth, and in the end, wow, a really strong game, being able to hold on and get back into everything here. What was a bit surprising, yeah, if you look at the heroes, it was Typhoon actually outscored his partner, even though he was mining significantly, mining for a lot less. Apparently, Typhoon was also in higher upkeep as well. But yeah, great game. Thanks for watching. Thanks for listening. Hope you guys enjoyed it.